Maandamano in Mombasa, like in other parts of Kenya, is a reflection of the local populace's frustrations and demands for change. As one of Kenya's key cities, Mombasa holds significant political and economic importance, making protests here particularly impactful. Today, July 16, 2024, Mombasa is witnessing another wave of demonstrations. These protests are part of the larger Maandamano movement that has been gaining momentum across the country. The grievances fueling the demonstrations in Mombasa are similar to those in other regions but also have unique local nuances. The primary issues driving today's protests include economic hardships, high unemployment rates, and widespread corruption. The coastal city of Mombasa, heavily reliant on tourism and trade, has been hit hard by economic challenges. The COVID-19 pandemic had a severe impact on the tourism sector, and recovery has been slow. Many residents are struggling to make ends meet, with rising costs of living exacerbating their difficulties. Today's protests in Mombasa were organized by a coalition of opposition parties, civil society groups, and local community leaders. Demonstrators have gathered at key locations such as Uhuru Gardens and the iconic Fort Jesus, both significant landmarks in the city. They are marching through the streets, holding placards with messages like, "End corruption now," "Jobs for Mombasa youth," and "Lower food prices." The atmosphere is a mix of determination and tension. Demonstrators are chanting slogans, singing songs of unity and resistance, and calling for immediate government action to address their concerns. The local fishing communities, traders, students, and workers are prominently represented among the protesters. In anticipation of the protests, the government has deployed a significant police presence throughout Mombasa. Security forces are stationed at strategic points, including the Likoni Ferry, which is a vital link between the island and mainland parts of the city. The police are equipped with riot gear, water cannons, and tear gas, prepared to manage any potential unrest. Past demonstrations in Mombasa have sometimes turned violent, with clashes between police and protesters. Human rights organizations and international observers are closely monitoring today's events, urging both the government and demonstrators to maintain peace. They have called for the protection of the right to peaceful assembly and for the police to exercise restraint. Social media is playing a crucial role in today's Maandamano in Mombasa. Platforms like Twitter and Facebook are filled with live updates, photos, and videos from the ground. Hashtags such as #Maandamano Mombasa and #Kenya protests are trending, bringing attention to the local issues and amplifying the voices of the demonstrators. This digital activism helps in organizing and mobilizing participants and ensuring that the world is aware of their struggles and demands. As the day unfolds, the outcome of today's protests in Mombasa remains uncertain. The government has issued statements expressing a willingness to engage in dialogue but has also emphasized the need for law and order. Opposition leaders and protest organizers are adamant that they will continue their demonstrations until concrete steps are taken to address their grievances. The Maandamano in Mombasa is not just a protest but a manifestation of the people's desire for change and justice. It highlights deep-seated issues that require urgent attention and meaningful action. The voices of Mombasa's residents, united in their demand for a better future, resonate powerfully through the city and beyond. The coming hours and days will be critical in determining whether these protests will lead to significant changes or further entrench the existing challenges.